presented by the staff with the following condition, namely that the new sign, the owner of the new sign, coordinate with the owner of the existing McDonald's shell sign so as to choose a location not to obscure or cover, make the McDonald's shell sign ineffective.
The motion has been made. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Mr. Brass has seconded. Would the Secretary do a roll call vote on this motion and amendment?
Sure, Mr. Chair. One question. Are we going to vote on them individually or all together? Because there's 3 different requests as part of it.
In my motion, there was just to approve based on the staff report plus the moving the sign to, coordinate with the landowner on the McDonald's shell location so that this new location doesn't obscure or essentially eliminate the effectiveness of the existing sign.
So we're going to do one vote.
One vote.
Yeah.
Yes.
Got it. Okay, so the motion is P21 VA0007 Mountain View Equities LLC, North Thornydale Road. Motions to approve all 3 requests subject to the condition, as Mr. Call stated, which generally states working with the property owner, the McDonald's to the south, to ensure that the sign provides adequate visibility. So that's the motion. Roll call vote. Mr. Green?
Thomas, this is Jeff Goss through the chair. I apologize through the chair. I just wanted to address one thing there as the owner.
No. The hearing's been closed, so unless the chair wants to reopen it, you wouldn't get that chance.
This is important information that's it's critical to the decision being made.
Hold on, Mr. Brass, or not Mr. Brass, Mr. Wildblood, would you want to reopen the hearing or no?
We've made the motion, and if it is very important information, I will briefly open it up and then for no more than a 1-minute comment.
Go ahead.
If that's good with the other board members, if they don't have anything bad to say about that, I will open it up for 1 minute and then we'll go right back to approving the motion or denying it. All right, the owner of the property, what's your name, please?
Great, thank you, Jeff Cost.
Jeff, okay.
Glenwood Development, thank you for the time. I appreciate it. I'll be brief.
You have 1 minute.
All right, great, thank you. The only concern I have with that sign being moved on, and we're speaking of the sign on Thornydale, is for that to be moved north, there are power lines and easements that will restrict the ability of doing that, inclusive of a screen wall. So I'm just making sure that everybody understands there's physical impairments of why the sign was actually proposed in its current location. There will not be an ability to move it north.
Very good.
Thank you for the time.
Very good.
Okay, Mr. Chair, so the motion's to approve, subject to the condition as Mr. Call presented. Roll call vote, Mr. Green?
Deny.
Mr. Call?
Approve.
Mr. Brass?
Deny.
Mr. Brass, that was denied?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Wildblood?
Approve.
So the vote was 2-2, so that does not pass.
Mr. Call, would you like to make another motion?
Well, I'm concerned now not only with the potential that this obscures or blocks the other sign, but now in locating another place, there are other issues that make it not desirable in another place. That basically says that they prefer to block the other sign, block the existing sign, even though it's a fairly modest sign, but that existing sign looks like it's totally compliant. And I'm concerned that we're now potentially approving a variance for a sign that it's going to obscure or block out somebody who's being compliant. And yes, that McDonald's can come back in with another. So then we're potentially saying, okay, bring it forward to have another non-compliant sign up at the property line and have it big, and then we have two of these that are within 30 or 40 feet of each other. I feel like this creates a sign, a number of signs there that is not a beneficial condition for our overall neighborhood. So my existing motion, if they can move it out of the way so it's a little bit further distant, I'm not opposed. That's why I initiated the motion. But to keep where it is and create then a problem where McDonald's is going to feel like they need to do the same thing, come out and get a variance and get a taller sign in a bigger place, that doesn't sound right to me.
Another option is just not build that sign, remove that sign.
Yeah, if that sign is not built, I'm thrilled. I think everything else works well. The other signs I think are great. Don't have any issues with those. That one to me seems like it's problematic. Even given the fact that it's squeezing in between those two buildings also. So I mean, for the building and the shelled canopy. So that's my thinking.
Do any of the other board members have comments?
Yes, I have a couple. It sounds like I agree with what Bruce's area of concern, and if the board is willing, we could call on Bruce's expertise to come in with a conditional approval if we take the applicant's signage away from that one spot. That makes sense.
I would be willing to introduce a new motion to allow for 3 of the signs, but that one there by the McDonald's to have excluded from the approval. I'd be willing to make such a motion.
Well, let's hear it.
Yes, if there's a motion to be made.
Okay, this is Bruce Call. I move that the northernmost. Well, let me get it right here. I move for case P21VA00007, Mountain View Equities LLC, North Thornydale Road, be approved with the exception of the southernmost proposed sign on Thornydale.
End of motion.
Yes.
It's been moved and it now
Seconded.
needs to be seconded. Do I hear a second?
You hear a second.
Mr. Brass has seconded the motion. So let's have a roll call vote on that.
Mr. Chair, this is Tom. Can we just take about a 5-minute break here? I want to look over the rules. We've had multiple motions. I just need to look at the rules before we proceed with the second vote. Is that okay?
That's very good.
Okay. Just everyone hold, just mute for, no more than 5 minutes. Let me look at what the rules are, okay?
I am muted.
Okay, thanks. Mr. Chair?
Yes, Tom, this is Mr. Wildblood.
So I'm back. I appreciate the moment there to kind of just research everything, and so we are good. So we can proceed now. The first vote constituted no action, so we have an additional one. So now the new motion, Mr. Call, correct me if I'm wrong, P21 VA007 is to approve, subject to the south location on Thornydale, no sign to be located there. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so that's the motion to approve, so it will permit the other signs. And so now we'll do the roll call vote on this motion. Mr. Green?
Aye.
Say that one more time, sorry.
Deny.
Deny, okay. Mr. Brass?
Approve.
Mr. Call?
Approve.
Chair Wildblood?
Approve.
Approved. Mr. Chair, that motion was approved 3-1 with the conditions, with the condition that Mr. Call added.
All right, that means that we are done with P21VA00007 Mountain View. So that closes this portion of the meeting. And at this point in time, I'd like to just discuss with the board members any housekeeping projects that we have going forward. And Tom, one question that I will have of you is that this will make if the applicant on that case does not agree to that, they'll have to maybe possibly resubmit it at another point in time or something, I assume. So
Sure, Mr. Chair. Yeah, the motion was approved, so 3 of the, I think 4 signs will be able to be built. I think that's what it was. If they are not satisfied, they can always reapply with a new request, and that could be completely new. It could be to amend conditions, present something as an alternative. They're more than allowed to do that. So we'll take it from there on that one.
Good. Do we have any meetings scheduled or anything coming up for next month?
Mr. Chair, we're in this very preliminary discussion on one item. It hasn't been submitted, or there's no formal application yet. So as of now, there's nothing for next month.
All right.
And Mr. Chair, we're still, a little bit from the deadline. This hearing was super early, and then June's hearing is as late as could be, so we still have a few more days to get stuff.
Okay, that's not a problem. Nick, you and I have talked about our stipends that we have here, and I assume that the county will be back on schedule at this point in time?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chair. So I deal with those and I send them to administration, and so from there on, they take it to finance, and I believe they get sent out from there. So, yeah, so that it won't be an issue going forward.
Okay, make sure that you have Mr. Green's proper address and everything in that situation for them, since he is brand new, and I assume that the clerk of the board has given his proper address into that. So if there's any questions by Mr. Green, Mr. Call, or Mr. Brass, anything there?
This is Mr. Call. This is Bruce Call. I move to close to adjourn.
It's been moved and now it needs a second to adjourn the meeting. Do I hear a second?
Green. Second, Richard Green.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor of adjourning, say aye.
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 The meeting is adjourned.
Have a great month, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Aye.
Thank you, gentlemen.